the signature in our most ideal model is that you can put on the digital documents that somehow it can be verified, right? Even though in practice we don't do that nearly as much, and also cannot be forged. Right? You can't somehow lift this and put into another document. So the most so for a very long time, when people formulate digital signature, it was formulated quite differently from public key encryption, right? And public key encryption is one of the early schemes somehow offered, at least a plausible solution. So it also came with a generation protocol, if you really abstract out. So you have to generate a sign key, and you have to generate a sign key, and you have to generate eventually a verification mechanism, right? So the main thing is you need to generate a sign key, almost like you use a sign key to encrypt it, but in the past it was never said that way. And so that is a signing algorithm, and it's a verification. So those are really the three steps often we have, right? We want to sign, ability to sign, and we want to have ability to verify, right? So usually, for example, when you go to a bank, I really don't remember precisely. Somewhere you have to leave the print of your signature, right? And then technically they always compare with this particular one on your check. But these somehow maintain other integrity of the check because there's a lot of other things printed inside the check, just like money is hard to forge, right? Mm-hmm. So RSA is the first one. It somehow conceptually changed people's way to think about digital signature because it just happened to offer a solution, right? Because if you look at RSA, they have a public key written as N and E, and they have a private key written as N and D, right? Even though detailed down, the private key has P and Q, right? It's just trying to assist you to get the D, right? So then they said if I have a document, we'll encrypt, and then if you decrypt, right, because we have a D times E is equal to 1 mod phi n, right, the order of the group, and this should be equal to M. So back then, this is how we run public key in RSA. We said I have a message, I just encrypt it, and when run, I decrypt. And for them, actually, immediately realize this symmetric operation essentially behave also like digital signature, right? So this is one of the first few very clean encryption scheme quickly converted into a digital signature scheme. That is, they said, if you really look at using RSA signature scheme, it just simply says it's used to use public key to encrypt. But now the generation protocol says let's use public key to verify. So public key is a mechanism to verify your signature, right? So that basically gave one of the first is yellow book type of signature scheme. That is everyone has a verification key, which no one can deny. It just will be verified by this key, right? So because it has to be somebody else verify your signature, right? So everyone just publishes their verification key. In this case, because E and D is really symmetric, right? We also knew MD, the mod N and E is equal to M, right? There's no difference between these two algebraically, right? So this symmetry of RSA instantly say that well, when you want to generate, you just generate a verification key. So in that case, they call they call D is your verification key. You public, they call E is verification key. Your public key, verification key is equal to your public key in RSA's case. Right. So everyone announces their public key for signature. That is their verification key. Everyone can verify this document. It's signed by this person. And then basically, when you sign a document, so in this case, so let me just, in this particular case, use E as a, so this is your public key, namely E. So your signature algorithm is just M to the D mod N. So this is how you sign. So in the RC perspective, what is a signed document? It's just a permuted document that only you can permute, that are matched with verification. Right? So when you verify, how do you verify? You verify with a document M to the D. That's how you verify, right? You want to verify this actually is a signed version. So this is the signature is this, right? So how do you verify? You need the first document equal to whatever your signature. So this is your signature. So you have signature and document. When people go to court, they literally take this document and they take this. These are signed documents. Right? You have signature of a document. When they verify, they just need to verify whether the signature to the E is. They're asking this question. If you pass this question, it's your signature. Otherwise, it's not your signature. You didn't sign. Okay? So you can see in this digital realization, particular RSA realization of signature, everyone can verify. You know, there's no non-uniformity of verification. So that's why they can go to court. Everyone can verify, right? So the main thing, they make sure you can't deny it, right? So the deniability came from the hardness of encryption, right? So basically, if people don't know how you sign, namely your D components, you are the only person to have that components. And this is how actually formulated it's computationally hard to deny. Right? So if RSA assumption holds, then computationally you cannot deny. So it's give the first sort of algorithmic notion or computational notion of deniability. And so this is actually how eventually a lot of digital signature legally become more and more accepted in the society. Is basically somehow court and more use so-called computational assumption. So you can't deny it. Right? Deniability came from this. Right? Hardness of forge also come from same principle. Right? Because there's only one component matched with the verification scheme. And if you can't get that key, and you can't forge, because it will permute you into different documents. Right? Because this RSA scheme is permutation, right? Every document has a one signed copy. Right? Because this whole thing is permutation. So every document is uniquely signed. And you are the only one who has a key to produce that digital space. So that's why computationally, you can't deny, and computationally, people couldn't forge. They put it into one place.
Yeah, I have a question. Like, if we see documents when how we sign online, but the websites can trick us, can steal the key from us, because we keep just clicking, right? And users are commonly stupid. So
I'm telling you that. So I would like to eventually, particularly after zero knowledge proof, where you see full-blown how machine can do, right? So in terms of skill data, human are the bottleneck. What's the longest digits can you remember?
What's what?
How many digits can you remember?
Like the longest number?
Yes.
Again, try. Not long enough.
Not long enough, right? It's not like solid bits, no? If you use RSA scheme, you have to remember solid bits. You can't remember it, right? Zero knowledge proof, later you can see, rely on we are able to play with larger numbers, larger graphs. So that's why even though mathematically they hold, once you have involving human, I mean, we are among, you are among the toppers in the nation or world in terms of academic accomplishment and potentials. Still, you're facing the, some of the length of numbers and in which way you can run a password. I think it's also limited. We understand we are our limitation, just don't remember that much, right? So that's why a lot of work, they try to somehow use some of the digital device, eventually like iPhone and so on, so that to give us certain assistance, so that the human at least have a little bit of chance to, but then clearly you reduce the security, right? Because if other people take away your device, certain things may happen.
And you're trusting the person who made the device.
Yeah, and you trust the person who makes the device. So you can see there's a certain recursiveness in those, but fundamentally it's very hard for a human to produce to play with the protocol that we produced, right? We can't use this ourselves to sign documents. It's just too big a number, right? So those are really designed for what I call machine-to-machine communication, machine-to-machine authentication, machine-to-machine identification, right? So for those, one can make as arbitrarily skilled as possible, right? As long as we're willing to put more hardware, slightly more time, we are able to put in fairly skilled schema. But on the other hand, the moment we have human there, it is challenging, right? Basically, we don't remember long digits, we can't consistently do it correctly, and plus there could be some other monitors which take cues from whatever we do, right? So that's why I think modern days more and more so-called human-machine interaction are using some more small handheld device, and hopefully that gives us a compromise solution. When I was in Minnesota once, actually, I think maybe I told the class that I was a warm body for a general manager from Hitachi Software to visit, and I was sitting there. He asked me, "Professor Teng, what do you do?" I said, I'm mostly doing geometries. He said, "What?" He said, "Geometry, we have no interest. What else do you do?" I said, "I teach crypto." He said, "Crypto, very interesting." And he said, "What?" So then we talk about essentially the human machine things. He said, "Oh, we really need that project," and because ATM bank, essentially banking system, right? He want me a lot of money. Then he said, "How much research money you need?" I said, "I normally get NSF money. I have many other." He said, "We want to support your research." So he actually, of course, they eventually asked me to do too much. I told him I don't need money anymore because I'm a mathematician. I don't want to write a report every 3 months. But still, one of the, I actually have a paper called the human-machine interaction in crypto space. This is way back even in the 90s. But clearly, this problem has continued to rise, particularly today, right? Yeah. But so this digital signature, I delay to this late is because the RSA offer in some of clarity to think about this problem, right? It's computationally, we need to prevent people from denying signed. Computationally, we want to prevent people has ability to forge, right? And we want the signature to be efficient and verification to be efficient. So that's why they use public key concept in reverse as a way to implement this. So a lot of public key schema can be directly used for signature, but often they're slightly more expensive. So this is also why, for example, Dan Bonnet, when he gave a talk on algebraic structure and crypto, when he talked about elliptic curve and pairing, because pairing offers some other way to signature without encryption. So it's come out from other mathematical properties. So that's why I try to say signature is not always the inverse of encryption. But on the other hand, very often public key offer a solution. And in early days, the digital solution in the sort of cleanest form is RSA. Right? Because, it's very clear to us what is signature, what is hardest to deny, what is integrity of message, right? Because those are all it's the integrity of signature. It's just permutation of your document that only you can permute, which is really clever definition, right? It's not that we lift our pen, we did this, right? It's not that. It's just literally you put on your document. It's undeniable. You put on your documents. Okay. So this is the digital realization. Yeah. So hopefully this time at least almost everything we discussed together. And so next class I will begin to open a new wave of discussion on public key in zero knowledge proof, to mostly initiated by authentication, identification, ATM machine. And after that, I think hopefully some of your presentation will be ready. I send out the email, and if you have questions about your date, let me know. If anyone wants to do on November 9th, if you happen to be ready, let me know, because that will open up for mostly for the benefit of all of us. Yeah. And if you want to ask me more about making choice of subjects you want to present and read more, also drop me emails or come to my office hours or make appointments. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much, and we advance very much. We can teach you a lot of things in 1 shot now.